Fred Film Radio, I'm Laura Della Corte, and from the 82nd edition of the Venice Film Festival, I'm here with Mihai Mincan, the director of MICTIT in the section Orizzonti. How do you feel today?
Good. Getting started. Ready for the screening.
It's really wonderful to have you here back in Venice. I remember when we last spoke about To the North. So now with MICTIT, you are delving into a different period of Romanian history, and actually is MICTIT inspired by a real child abduction during the Ceaușescu final regime, right? So beyond the factual basis, what was the societal fears of that time that you want to explore, and why?
Well, actually, the actual case, as you call it, it's very less present in the film right now. Okay. Yes, it started from me reading a militia dossier from 1989 about the disappearance of a small child, of a small girl. But in the end, it was so gruesome and so gorish and so tragic that I decided that I'm not going to use it at all. So what it remained from that was just an image of a girl disappearing with a red bucket full of nutshells, going to the garbage. The reason why I chose that image is because I was the same age as her in 1989. I was actually 9, she's 10, the lead character. But my parents used to send me the same way to the garbage. I know that world. I remember it very well. I remember the way it looks, smells, feels. It's the world of my childhood. And I wanted to explore some kind of feeling of rupture, of fragmented time that I felt back then. And that I think that in a way speaks also a lot about the world in which we live today. And I wanted to I remember when we started editing the film, me and the editor, who's also a good friend, we kept repeating this phrase, this is a film about loneliness. So yeah, I think it's a film above everything else, it's a film about loneliness.
Yeah, do you think it's also about, having lost a childhood and trying to, put back together the pieces? You actually choose Emma Ioana Mogos that delivers like a remarkable performance there. So how did you work with her?
It's all her merits. It usually is when you work with a child. When I took the decision to make a film with a child as a lead character, and especially this kind of film in which she appears basically in every frame of the film, it's her who carries the film actually. Everyone kept telling me, you're going to work with children, it's going to be really, really hard. But it turned out that it's actually far better to work with children than with adults. Because they're they lack this self-aware feeling. And Emma, for example, she's a really, really smart and intuitive kid who just listens very well. And she kind of lets herself go in places maybe she wouldn't be able to access otherwise. And it felt like the time period and the fact that the film happened in 1989 and she's a child of the 2010s, so it is a huge gap, didn't feel like a big difference because, as I told you, the film is about loneliness, and every child knows what loneliness is, and she knows it better.
Yeah, and she was amazing, actually. And I think you had a great collaboration also with Nicolae Ceaușescu, because the sound design of MICTIT is, I think it plays a crucial role to the movie. So what conversation do you have regarding the sound design?
Yeah, it was Nicolae, but it also was a person I love deeply. He's called Ange Juper, who helped me a lot to create the sound design of the film. It's funny when you talk with with two French guys who grew up in a different era, with different political system and a different concept of freedom about the socialist Romania. But we never talked a lot about politics. We talked a lot about quiet. I told them the way I spoke with them was basically recollecting my childhood memories in terms of sounds that I could hear. And it was a really strange world because it was obviously a world much quieter than today. There weren't so many cars. And it was a world in which you could still hear like wind, leaves, distant voices, but at the same time it was this kind of quietness that had like a very dark feel to it. Yeah. You kind of felt that things are quiet, but it's not like the type of quietness in which you go to this beautiful cabin in the mountain and you just hear nature.
Not natural.
Yeah, you can feel that something beneath it, always like a really threatening element there, and that something might erupt at the same time. And usually when I talk with them, I talk more in terms of like poetry and things. They feel what I'm saying and they just go with the flow.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been amazing talking with you again. So we have been talking with Mihai Mincan, and director of Milk Theatre. I'm Laura Della Corte for the from the 82nd edition of Venice Film Festival. This is Fred, the Festival Insider. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.